Upon receiving the Vertiflex, it arrives in a box, in 3 or 4 pieces, depending on the size of the Vertiflex. If the child's measurements were taken in advance, it will already be adjusted to their size. Here's the tray. We'll set it aside. Here is the shoulder section and the headrest. And here's the central section of the Vertiflex. If it comes in 4 pieces, the base will be removed. All the T-knobs and bolts were tightened beforehand so they wouldn't be lost during transport. For assembly, we start with the base and the central piece. Make sure the 4 brakes on the base are activated. Take the central section and slide it down into the post. Once it's in place, tighten the 2 knobs here. Next, take the shoulder section and the headrest, insert them here. And tighten the 2 T-knobs here. Next, loosen this knob on both sides. Then, take the tray and slide it in here. Here's a tip. Make sure to lift the tray slightly to help it slide in easily. If you lift it too high or too low, it will be difficult to insert. Once the tray is in place, you can retighten the knobs. Once this step is done, make sure the activation strap is attached to the headrest or the handle. This is the tightening tool. This tool is to help you tighten or loosen the knobs during adjustments, and it is stored here during use. Next, we place the abdominal cushion. Simply remove it using the Velcro and reposition it in the middle. Make sure to pass these 2 straps behind and secure them. The Vertiflex is now ready for use. Now we will look at preparation for a trial. First, go over all the T-knobs and make sure they're all tightened and safe for the user. Then, ensure that all 4 wheels of the Vertiflex are locked using the brakes. If no measurements were taken for the child, make sure to take them before placing the child in the Vertiflex to minimize adjustments while the child is inside the stander. Next, loosen the 2 knobs on the tray and remove the tray. Once the tray is removed, you can tilt the stander. Here, you will find the safety key, which prevents someone from tilting the Vertiflex with a user inside. Remove the key and pull the strap, and the Vertiflex tilts up to horizontal. Next, do a quick safety check. Next, we will open all the straps for the transfer. A small tip for transfers with double-stop knee blocks. You can take the Velcro straps and stick them together. This gives you more space to place the child into the stander. If the stander is equipped with swing-away shoulder and hip blocks, you can open them to make transfer easier if the person is coming from a bed. Otherwise, you can leave them closed if the patient is coming from a lift and being transferred from above. If all measurements were already taken, only micro adjustments will be necessary to ensure the patient's comfort. If no measurements were taken, here's how to proceed. For height adjustments, never touch the hip block. It is the central reference point. Measurements always correspond to hips to armpits, hips to feet, and feet to knees. For the feet to hips adjustment, the measurement is taken at the center of the block. Here we have about 25.5 inches. For the feet to knee adjustment, the measurement is again taken at the center of the block. In this case, we have 14.5 inches. If you want to modify the foot height, we have the 2 knobs here. Simply loosen them, find the desired position, and retighten the knobs. For the knees, we have the knob right here for the height. Here for knee depth. And finally here for knee width. The next adjustment is the armpit height. Measure from the foot to the top of the block, then add 1 inch for comfort. To adjust it, we have the 2 knobs here. Make sure to remove the cushion before adjusting. Once the position is found, retighten the knobs. You can also widen the section using these 2 knobs. Next, for the shoulder height adjustment. Take the tool that is always stored on the activation cylinder. Loosen these 2 bolts and adjust the height. Very important, always make sure the metal plate does not interfere with the 2 knobs here. To adjust the headrest, simply loosen the knob here. Place the headrest where you want it and retighten. Here there is a safety ring that can be moved by loosening this bolt. This ring also serves as a reference tool to ensure the headrest is always placed at the same height after being removed. Once the stander is properly adjusted and the user has been transferred into it, make sure to tighten the straps. Start with the hips to secure the child. Then the upper strap. For the legs, it depends on the user, but we try to start with the knees. Always with the red strap on top, and then close the remaining straps. Finally, close the foot straps. Once the patient is properly positioned in the stander, you can tilt it toward vertical by pulling on the strap. If you don't want to exceed a certain angle, you can lock it using this knob here. Otherwise, you can go all the way to 90 degrees. Put the tray back on and tighten the knobs. These rings here ensure that no one can push on the tray and injure the user. And there you go, your Vertiflex is ready to use.